Hello, I want to talk to you today about that popping sound that you hear when you're adjusted. If you understand the anatomy of the vertebrae as they join to one another, the joint above and joint below join together, those bones join, and then they're wrapped together, they're held together with ligaments, and then within that space of the joint is something called synovial fluid, and it acts as like grease for the movement of the joint. So it's just a bone above, bone below. When the adjustment takes place, the joint is pushed and then suddenly opened. And that opening is where you hear the sound. And that sound is known as cavitation. Now what that actually is there's a sudden space that's created within that joint space, and the body has to fill that with something, and it uses carbon dioxide because there's a pressure gradient that's changed. But probably a better way to explain it to you is if you pop your knuckles. It's a similar sound. Or maybe even better, if you were to take the lid off of a champagne bottle, that popping sound that takes place. The pressure inside the bottle is different from the pressure outside of the bottle, and when you take that lid off, it has to change, and it creates that popping sound. You know, I don't really care if you remember all that, but what's important that you remember is that it's not your bones hitting your bones or the bone going into place. It's merely just a separation of the joint. The noise is called an audible, and it's due to the cavitation that takes place when the joint is separated. I hope that answers your question.